Hello. Hi. This is my first attempt at the knitting, my third video, so third time's a charm for the video. But I wanted to share some of the ways that I've learned to make knitting a stress-free part of my life. As you can see, it brings me cute little friends like this. And Mr. Mousy Mouse, the stress relieving mouse. You can squeeze him, pat him, fix his ears, bop him on the head, swing him by the tail, whatever your need is for the moment. And for people who don't know how to knit, I guess I'm gonna try to start off the basics the way my granny taught me 50 years ago. So you have your knitting needles, your basic knitting needles. I prefer the bamboo. They just sound better than the plastic or the metal and feel nice to me. And you have your yarn. And these are just the basic. You need 2 stitches for knitting. You need knit and you need purl. Those 2 ladies will get you a far way. And I'm going to try my best to give you an idea of how to do them. So you have your tail and your working yarn. And you want to cast on, is what we call it. Now, casting on needs a slip knot as your first knot. So I usually take the yarn and kind of wrap it around my fingers, because you're wrapping the yarn around this one strand to make a knot. Doesn't really make sense to me all the time, but it's a slip knot. So you're trying to make a slip knot. Ooh. So that now, that knot can slide onto your needles. You got your 2 needles. Best way I can explain is to make an X with your needles. Use the working part of your yarn. You don't want to use the tail. Sometimes you leave long tails if you want to sew up the sides of things, but I'm just leaving a short tail for this purpose. And to cast on, you can see your needles are surrounded by this slip knot. You're gonna knit. It's the knit portion, but we're casting on. So you're gonna bring it around the back, slip it through, and you gotta make sure you can see that first stitch. There you go. Don't lose it. But in order to cast on, we're going to slip that stitch right back onto there. Now we've got 2. Pull your tail. Sometimes your tail wants to get in the mix with all this stuff, and you're like, nope, nope, nope. We're working yarn. No tails today. And then I'm going to do a few stitches. We're going to cast on a few. So you want to stick your needle right in like that. Make that X. Come around the back. Do another knit stitch. And you have to peek in there. And then see, there's your stitch. But you got to put it right back on to this needle. And then you pull it tight. Now you got 3 stitches. And you want to keep your stitches separate. Kind of hold these 2 over here, because you're going to be working with this stitch on the end. Make your X. Oh. Come around the back. Pull it up through. And then you got your loop, and you're going to put it back onto this needle. When you put it back on the needle, you pull it, And now we got 4. We got 4 stitches. I'm gonna work these kind of quicker now as we're acting like we're gonna knit, but we're gonna put that stitch right back on. And now we've got 5 whole stitches. And then we're gonna do another stitch. Let's put another stitch on there. And then instead of pulling it off and knitting, we're gonna put that right back on there. Now we've got 6 nice little stitches. How many should we do? Want to do the lucky 7 stitches? Okay, we'll do lucky 7. So we've got our X. Come around the back. Pull it up. Oh, don't lose it. Don't lose it. And then you got here. And this stitch is going to go right back on. Now we've got 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see that little road trying to come together down there. That's your casting on. You can do as many stitches as you want. You can do the whole needle full. But for these purposes right now, I'm just going to teach you the knit and the purl. So with knitting, you're going to start with this first stitch. And you're like, sometimes you want to get all caught up together, so you got to watch them. And you can see how I'm making that X. And knit, you always go in the back and you come around the back, right? Oh, I need some more working yarn. Come on off that ball. And this time, instead of putting the stitch back on, we're going to slip. You got to be careful because you don't want but one stitch, the one that you did, come off. There you go. Now we have knitted one. And we're going to knit another one. We got to go back into the back, come around the back, pull it up through the front, and slide it off. That's 2. Now we got 2 stitches on this left needle, or right needle. We're working from the left. Now we're going to go for number 3. This is straight up knit. Come around the back, pull it up through, slide it off. Make sure you hold these stitches on. You don't want them coming off. And then we're going to go up in here again, do the cross from the back, around the back. This is your knit. And we just kind of knit, 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 knit. This is your garter stitch. You're just knitting, knitting, knitting. Purl ain't around. And you're going to knit till the end of this row. So now I'm coming around the back, sliding them all off, making sure I hold on that last one. You don't want it to fall off. And then we're going to knit the last one. And we're going to have 7 stitches are now on our right needle. And then we got to do the fancy little switch dance. Now, ta-da! Now we've taken needles, switched hands. Now in our left hand, we have our first row knitted. We've got the tail. Well, it's trying to get in the way. Oh yeah, look at the tail. You fancy tail. And then you've got your stitches. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. We didn't lose any. We didn't add any. We still got our 7 stitches. And I'm going to complete the garter stitch. So I'm going to keep knitting. I'm going to knit, knit, knit. We're going to have knit, another row of knit. So you stick it in and you try to keep it a little firm on the end. Sometimes the ends want to get loose on you. So you pull it around the back and pull off this first stitch. So we got 1 stitch, and then just take a look at it, get familiar with how the stitch and the knitting looks. And see, we got our cross around the back and pull it off. I got 2 stitches now. And then I got another one around the back. I got 3 stitches. And we're pulling it together. Ooh, ain't always perfect. 4 stitches and 5 stitches, yeah, and 6 stitches, and here's our 7. So now we have made 2 whole rows of knit. See, and this is your right side. See, this is going to be the right side of the piece. I don't know why it's always the right side, but when your tail's on this end, this is the right side, I guess. I guess it makes sense when you look at it sometimes, because like this is the wrong side and this is the right side. But I want to show you the garter a little bit better. You can see this is the garter stitch right here on that. Let me knit a couple more rows so you guys can get the hang of it. Yeah, always starting off, you gotta pull it, make sure it doesn't get loose on you. You got 1, and slide it in there. 2, slide it off. And 3, and 4. Come around the back. And you can see they're a little tight. You gotta slide that in there. And 5. And 6. And 7. But you can see how it's starting to look pretty. We got 2 or 3 rows in there. Sometimes I lose track. And it depends on the pattern I have. But I want to show you just a few so you can see how this garter stitch comes together. And it's all knit. You just, oh, see, look at that one. It's trying to get all loose, but didn't want to come off. Gotta be careful. And 2. I know it's going a little fast here. Let me slow down. 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. Ain't really no need to count. I guess I just do it just to keep myself occupied. As you can see, oh, let's see, we're getting more rows. Rows are coming in. Let's do 2 more rows of this here knit. Let's do 2 rows of knit. Oh, come on, knit. Oh, get around. I gotta look through the camera so I can see what I'm doing. And just try to, and knitting is kind of mindless, tedious, mundane, but I enjoy the creations that come about with these stitches. And I'm sure anyone who picks up a couple of needles can't crochet, because I need 2 needles to do stuff. And let's do 1 more of these knit here rows, because this is the wrong side. I want to end up on the right side for some reason. I don't know. Probably should. Oh, usually when you're on the wrong side, you can purl. Let's start a purl row. How's that? Okay. Now purling, you're gonna come in from the front, or you're gonna come in the front. You want to keep yarn to the front. Granny always told me, she said, remember, when you're doing a purl, the yarn's in the front. And when you do the knit, you take it to the back. But you put your you put your needles in the front this time. Not this way, not that way. That's knit. You come around this way. You come from the front. And you still go around the back, but instead of slipping it that way, you slip it this way. And then you slide off, and there you got your first purl stitch. But you see, the yarn is in the front. We got our yarn in the front, and I'm gonna come in from the front this way. And then I go around the back, and then I slip it off like that, like this. This is going to make what they call a stocking knit stitch, stocking stitch. You'll see as it comes about. But you're doing your purl. You came in through the front, slide it off, and then you poke it in this way, come around your thread, and then you want to make sure you slide it off. There we go. Then we're poking it in, doing purl. Hey, purl. Pearl's come to the party, and she wants to come in the front door. She doesn't want to go around and get lost. And so now we're doing our last purl of the row. Oh, it's a purl row. We're doing a whole row of purl. There we go. See, and now this is going to start to make our stocking stitch, because you purl one way and then going back the other way. Now we're going to knit again. So we're going to knit this. That means we're coming in, going to the back. Ooh, we're going through the back of the stitch, and we're going to slide it off. So we got our knit going. We know that's all a part of the garter, but it's also part of the stocking stitch. I guess they used to make stockings with this stitch because it makes it smooth on one side instead of lumpy on both sides. And we're going to knit all the way to the end, all 7 of our stitches. We're going to do knit, 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 knit. Yeah, and you can see the yarn is in the back. See, the yarn's to the back of that piece for knitting. Okay, everything goes in the back for the knit. Then, oh, I guess we need some more working yarn. Let's unroll a little bit here. Get back over there, sit by Mr. Mousy, Mr. Meese. Now our yarn's in the front for our stocking stitch. It's how it ends up when you're doing knits and purls. We're going to go back to purl. Purl's coming in through the front way, this way. Yep, and then we're going to go around, and we're going to take this stitch off. We're going to go that way and slide. You got to slide your stitch off. There we go. And of course, do another purl, and we got to purl all the way to the end with our yarn in the front and coming in through the front this way. It's purl. Purl, 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 purl. Hey, purl. Purl's got to have some stockings because old knit just needs a garter. I guess garters and stockings. Yeah. Garter stitch is to hold up the stockings. I don't know. I know that when you unknit, it's called tink. Knit spelled backwards is when you unknit. But now we got another purl row we finished, and you have to alternate with the stocking stitch. See, that'll give you this smooth thing, and it's always purl on the right side. I mean, no, it's always knit on the right side. Sorry, y'all. Knitting this way, and this is the purl side. It's going to look like that. Isn't that funny? Yep, it sure is funny. Now, a lot of times when you're doing a piece, you've got garter stitch, and then you can see I've went back and forth between knit and purl. This is purling, knitting, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. But the main thing that you want to remember when you're combining, because you can do knit all one way and you can do purl all one way, but when you combine like 3 knits, 1 purl, well, we're going to do 2 knits, 2 purls, and 3 knits, just for the fun of it. So we're going to start off knitting. Let's do, oh, come back here. Or why don't we do 2 two knits. 1 and 2. So we got our 2 knits starting off, right? There we go. Now we got our 2 knit stitches. Now you can see that yarn is in the back. As Granny always told me, bring your yarn to the front between those needles. And then once your yarn is in the front, then you can purl. You come in through the front, go around, and we're doing the purl stitch. Taking it off behind there. We're going to do another purl stitch. So our yarn is in the front. And then we're going to take our purl stitch. It's two so far. Now let's try 3. We got 3 purls right here in the middle, right? Now I want to go back to knit. But if I go back to knit, I got to take that yarn to the back. And once the yarn is in the back, I can go back to knit. And I'm going to knit 2 times. 1 and 2. Okay. There we go. Now I've got lumps. Well, let's try that coming from the wrong side. We're going to try knit 2, and then we're going to see, I don't know, sometimes they go purl all the way back, but we're going to knit. We're going to knit 2, and I mean, we could just knit all the way across too if we wanted to, but we're going to knit 2 because I'm showing you how when you knit, you have the yarn to the back. And then when you bring it to the front here, see, I brought it to the front right through the middle. Now I can purl because my yarn is in the front. I'm going to purl 3. There we go, purl, purl, purl. Purl 3. And then I'm going to knit 2. 1, 2, 1. Oh, I forgot to show you. I took my yarn to the back. I hope you guys kind of paid attention to that. That's pretty much what you do. Just got to remember to bring your yarn to the front. Hopefully when I show you the different patterns next time, then you'll get to see more about how it's knit purl. But I'm going to show you the simple bind off. So this is a complete lesson as to how to bind off now, because we want to finish our piece. So you knit 1 and you knit 2, and then you want to bind off. That's when you're going to take this stitch right here and you're going to slide it over top of that. Oh, now it's tricky. Sometimes it don't want to stay. You gotta watch it. And there you go, like that. Slide it. And you're going to need another one because we're going to slide each stitch over the next. This way it's coming off, see? And now you only got 1 stitch there, but we need 2. So we can do the stitch over. I don't know what they call it. I just know I pulled this stitch over top of the other one, and I only have 1. And I keep working to the end till I fully bind it off. Bind off. I guess I'm binding off knit-wise. I suppose you can do it purl-wise. But most of my knits, I just bind off knit-wise unless they specifically tell me to do it purl-wise. I usually use patterns that are really simple. They don't get too complicated. Next time I'll show you the patterns and how I keep track of my rows. Ooh, see, look how close that was to the end. Gotta be careful, you don't want them to fall off. As you fall off in knitting, you lose everything pretty much. There we go, and that's the last one. So once we got the last stitch, you have your hoop loop, right? And you can cut it, and then You pull the end through. There you go. Right now I'm just gonna, because I don't have my scissors close. But as you can see, that was binding off. We got a garter stitch. We got our stocking stitch. And you've got a partial knit purl kind of in the same row. You can see this would be the right side because it's smooth. And this side's kind of bumpy, so that's the wrong side. But I hope you enjoy this little tiny lesson. And I definitely want to come back later and bring my friends along. And hopefully show you guys some more about knitting. Enjoy your day. Ooh.